Hello and welcome to The Face of Art, the show that brings local artists out from behind the canvas and into the spotlight. Each week we feature a different artist and discuss their passion, their journey, and the challenges and victories they have as an artist. Our guest this evening is Mael Victory. Mael was born and raised in Nosara, Costa Rica. He began painting when he was just 4 years old. At the age of 12, he had already painted 200 canvases. He is self-taught with no formal training, and presently Mael has the only art gallery in Nosara, Costa Rica. His paintings have sold in more than 10 countries. Join me in welcoming Mael Victory. Are you there? How you doing?
Yeah, how are you, kid?
Hey, it's good to see you. You look great.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Did you, did you just get off the surfboard? Were you surfing today?
I went surfing this morning.
I figured.
Yeah, it was huge though.
I take it the beaches are open again?
Yeah, the beaches are open every day, all day, even weekends and everything.
Okay. Because I know they sort of opened it in stages, right?
Yeah, and almost all the other beaches in Costa Rica are closed after 10 a.m., but Nosara has a different law.
So are you getting a lot of visitors to Nosara for that reason, to come surf?
No, not that much. Mostly locals.
Okay. Because I know that was the big concern, was having people travel from San Jose, potentially with the virus to the beaches.
Yeah, but people still are a bit scared, so they don't really want to travel, and there's also a lot of restrictions with the cars.
With what?
With the cars, a lot of restrictions.
Right. For traveling around.
So people aren't coming down today.
And are the borders reopened? No.
No, the borders are not reopened, and they won't be for now.
And that's a kind of a Nicaragua problem, is that right? Primarily?
I'm not sure. I don't really watch the TV or the news here.
Well, that was my understanding, because apparently the Nicaragua government wasn't really cracking down on the COVID thing. So I think they decided to close Costa Rica's borders to keep them out, but whatever. That was what I heard. So, Mael, you got started painting pretty early at age 4. I'm just curious what happened at age 4 that led to you picking up a paintbrush for the first time.
Oh, well, I have a mentor called Carlos Valenzuela. He's an artist from Costa Rica, and he once came to my house to teach my mom painting, but she was really sick. So my mom said, well, why don't you teach Mael how to paint, do one class with him? And since then, I haven't stopped.
And do you remember actually that being 4 years old and painting for the first time?
No, I don't remember the first time I touched the brush.
Oh, that's too bad. And how old are you now?
I'm 17.
Okay. When did you have your first gallery show, and where was that?
I had it when I was 6 years old. I did it in Nosara in Guiones. And the art show was, I had this idea of doing a bridge in the art show, and I would put the paintings on the floor, like that people could see my paintings, the same view as I painted them. So that was like my concept I had.
So you were painting with the canvases on the floor, so you were basically crawling around on the canvases?
Yeah, before I would paint in the friend's room, so I couldn't paint the walls. So we'd put huge plastics on the floor, so like that I wouldn't paint anything.
What just describe the size. What size are we talking about?
No, when I was smaller, I would paint more like 80 centimeters by 60.
Okay, and now you're painting canvases that are much larger.
Yeah, no, I paint like 2 meters by 1 meter 50.
Wow. Okay, and when did that transition happen? Like, when did you start working with larger canvases?
Oh, little by little, I started just doing bigger and bigger and bigger. And like around 10 years old, I started painting on canvas. I went from paper to canvas. and canvas is when I started painting bigger.
And you can get that size canvas in San Jose?
No, yeah, I get them from San Jose, from the importer, and I get them by 100 meters, 50-meter rolls by 2 meters.
Okay. So how did that, let's go back to you having your first show at age 6. What was that like? I mean, was it well attended? Were you totally comfortable? Was it strange having people look at your work? Just kind of walk us through that.
Well, I don't remember a lot because I was very small, but the little I remember was I would always invite all my friends, and I would most of the time go with my friends, and then my parents would stay in the gallery. And then once people at the very show, I'd come back, and then that's when I just interacted with the people.
I've got photos of one of your gallery shows. I don't know. Let me just share it anyway. I don't know if this was your first show or not. You can tell me. So where was it? I mean, this is the gallery. I don't know if this looks like later work though, right?
Yeah. So this was.
Oh yeah, you're much older than 6. Well, we can talk about this too, since we're looking at it.
Yeah. So this was 2018. This was my latest show I did with my brand new paintings. But this is another gallery than the one that I first did. I moved to another place.
Where was the first gallery?
We're right next to it. It's just it was a bit smaller, so I upgraded it.
Okay.
But I still have the bridge and everything.
Right. Interestingly, this Steph Kuhn right here.
Yeah.
He was my guest about 3 weeks ago on this program. Interesting. I was happy when I found the shot that he was at your show and talking with you. Nice,
yeah, it was nice.
Nice guy, right?
Yeah, super nice.
Have you been up to his place up in the mountains?
No, never went.
You should do that. I've been up there twice. It's amazing. It's absolutely.
Does he have a gallery there?
So make an appointment with him and go up and see him. It's pretty spectacular where he lives, but also where he paints. It's really pretty cool.
Okay, I should go check it out sometime.
All right, let me. I guess so. These are just more from that same show in 2018.
Yeah, the painting behind the.
Say again.
Yeah, the painting behind the people was an inspiration that I did. I did free paintings, big, huge paintings, inspired by my trip that I went to Japan and the minimalism of Japanese people.
So when were you in Japan? The year prior or?
Yeah, like 5 months before the opening.
I'm trying to think if I have a shot.
Yeah, there's the painting.
Is this it here? No.
No, the one next to it.
This.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry, this was inspired by your trip to Japan. And how much time did you, what was the purpose for the trip and how long were you there?
We went for 1 month because I always loved Japanese culture and everything that is Japan. Mm-hmm. And that was my dream since forever. So my parents brought me there for 1 month. And it was really, really, really inspiring.
And just you? I forget. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, no, I don't have siblings.
Oh, so it was just you.
Yeah, but I went with one of my cousins.
Okay. I don't know if you want to. Since I got the screen share on, how about this? Is this a fairly recent piece of work?
Yeah, so this is one of my latest paintings I did.
Okay, when you say latest, what would we like this year?
Past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're working on something new right now, is that right? Like is it a series or just a new body of work for a show?
No, mostly this year what I told myself is that I'll mostly paint in just when I felt that I wanted to paint. So now this year, I really wanted to devote all my time to painting and become a painter. So I'm really testing out a lot of stuff. I don't want to do any exposition or sell my art right now. I just want to paint as much as possible to really try to find my way or find my artistic stroke.
So since making that decision, how many pieces have you produced?
Around 30.
What? Really? Because I feel
Yeah,
like when I was there in January, I think we talked about the fact that you were getting ready to paint, or maybe you had just started. You've done 30 pieces since the beginning
yeah,
of the
around there.
year. So just take me through the process. I mean, how long would a painting like what we're looking at here? How long would something like this take, or how long would this,
So for example, this one I started in April 2019, and I did a background. I just did a background, and then I had a problem with my studio where ants invaded my whole studio. So I had to ditch everything, clean everything out, re-isolate the studio for insects to not be able to come inside. And that took a while. So then I took it back in around February 2020. I did more stuff on it, painted most 90% of what you see. And then I left it behind. I didn't know what to do with it. And sometimes I have this feeling with paintings where I feel that it's almost finished, but it's not quite there yet. So sometimes I can leave it for months. And I just finished it 2 weeks ago. It's some strokes. You wouldn't even notice the difference, but it really like finishes off the painting.
Yeah, I'm always curious when I see a painting like this. Like when do you know you're done? Is it just a feeling?
Yeah, it's more like an intuition.
An intuition. Okay, it's like it's just done. Walk away.
Yeah, there's no formula.
Right. Um, and it's pretty. This looks pretty active, right? How large is this piece?
So this piece is around 2 meters by 2 meters.
Okay. So this is painted on a wall, right? You're not on the
Floor
floor.
and wall. I have a wall and a floor like that I can switch. Most of the time I switch. The base, I do it on the floor.
Okay. I mean, I just brought up a shot of you, and is this your present studio?
Yeah, this is even more recent. This was like a week ago.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. But I just want to give people the sense of how you work. So maybe just describe what, you said part of it takes place on the floor.
Yeah, sometimes I do the background on the floor because I use a lot of water and a lot of paint, and I don't want it to start dripping. So I start on the floor, and then once I want to do more stuff, I can move it up on the wall or keep on doing it on the floor, depending on what technique I use. Yeah, so it depends. If I use a lot of water, I mostly want to do it on the floor because I don't want it to start dripping all over the place.
So just looking at this piece that you were working on 2 weeks ago, do you generally, maybe this is probably not a fair question, but like, do you generally start with black and sort of outlines like this, or is this just this particular piece?
So this particular piece was a test. I tried out something new where I tried to add some human shapes in my art piece. And this was a technique where I got inspired by Jackson Pollock.
Sure. Yeah.
One of his paintings that before he started the dripping, that he did just to prove himself that he was a master at painting. And I got very inspired by that. So I started adding human shapes in this painting. So this was a test.
Okay, I see. So you would normally this feels like a sketch in a way, like you're. So is there a finished piece with this, or is this again still experimental?
So most of my paintings can take. I do them very fast, like as painting goes. I can spend like 5 hours on a painting, but then I spend a lot of time just letting it sit. So I could leave it for 4 or 5 months, let it sit, almost finished, bring it out, and then finish it.
And if you work for 5 hours straight, are you pretty tired? I mean, is it is it very active? I mean, do you
Oh
feel
yeah,
like do
I'm
you feel
drained after a day
I was
like this.
like at the end of the day, it must be like a full work day if you're moving around and jumping up
Yeah,
and
and
squatting and
yeah, and mostly the energy as an artist that you put into your art is also very draining. Takes up a lot of your life.
hmm I mean, mentally and physically, right?
Yeah, that's why I love going surfing because you can just let go of everything and forget about it and just switch a bit your mindset just to relax your mind.
Yeah. So to actually talk a little bit more about how the surfing. I mean, you may have just answered the question, but how the surfing plays a part in your artwork. It just gives you a break. Is that
Yeah, I use a lot, well, first of all, because I love surfing. And yeah, it's also a big break for my mind just to rest and forget about it. Yeah, so for me, surfing is very helpful because it's a break for my mind every time that I go surf because it switches my mindset and I stop thinking about art so I can rest a bit. And also, I love it because I can finally connect with Mother Nature in a way, and that's really inspiring for me.
I would imagine. So if you have unlimited time, how long are you generally on the water for? How long is this mental break for you?
I go like 2 hours a day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've only gone out a couple times. every every time I'm down there, I'm like, this is going to be the year I'm going to learn to surf. But so I haven't had that experience that you're talking about, where like mentally, you can really get away from everything else. I'm just working on trying to stand up. That's so I'm not really relaxed and enjoying Mother Nature like you're explaining. But um, where else have you shown your work outside of Costa Rica?
So I've showed my work in New York, in Long Island. That was one exposition I did, a group show. And then I also showed in Europe several times. I don't remember all the places exactly, but I've showed in art fairs and in galleries in Europe.
So in the introduction, I was saying that you've sold work in 10 countries. So is that accurate?
Yeah, I've sold paintings all over the world. I've sold them in Korea, France, Switzerland, USA, a bit everywhere.
Now, is some of that people that travel to Costa Rica from Switzerland and then bring it back, or have you had shows there as well?
Both. Some people come here in Osara, see my work, and they want to buy it. For example, some Koreans came in, called me, and were like, "Oh, we would like to see your gallery and buy some paintings." Or sometimes I just have an exposition in for example, Amsterdam, and then someone there really likes my art.
And how do if they're traveling? So the logistics are always fascinating to me. So if they're traveling through Nosara, they see a piece of your work, they like it. How does it how does it get to Japan? I mean, I'm assuming it has to come off the frame and rolled up. Is that how does that work?
Yeah, that's how I do it. I take it off the frame, roll it up, put it in a PVC tube, and then they can just take it in their flight. It's really easy.
Oh, interesting. So they take it with them. You don't have to ship it to them.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. They can take it with them because if you roll it up, it's not really that big.
Right. It's like traveling with a surfboard, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even smaller.
Well, probably the same length. I guess it
Yeah.
depends if you're surfing a longboard, right? um, so galleries in Nosara, I've always been kind of curious why there's not more happening with art in Nosara. Have you seen like an uptick? Is there more interest in art? Do you think there's going to be more galleries popping up?
No, the commerce and the world of art in Osara is very small. So there's not a lot of people wanting to buy art. Even my gallery mostly is just to show my art to people that travel all around the world to Nosara, and I mostly sell to strangers and to locals from here.
So I mean, that surprises me with all the construction that's going on. I mean, I've gone to real estate websites just to look at construction and architecture, and I've always noticed that there's just a lot of white walls in these new homes. So you're not selling to those people, or not very much?
No, yes, I do too, but mostly people here it's not like the New York influence or European influence where it's very important to have art on your walls. Here, it's not in the culture.
Even people that someone from New York or from Toronto that's building a home there?
Well, then, yes, so those are the people that buy art here.
I'm just thinking, I'm thinking about I'm hopeful that the market's going to change a little bit and that there's going to be a little bit more art in Nosara, because I feel like there's great boutique hotels, there's really good restaurants, and there's even a relatively decent music scene. Each time I go down there, I see new music groups. So I just feel like art is the next thing. So I'm sort of hopeful that, I mean, I don't want these springing up everywhere, but I feel like, 2 or 3 or 4 galleries might be kind of nice after dinner to go out and visit galleries. So I'm hopeful that that's going to happen. With, again, with the people traveling, expats building homes and stuff down there and needing artwork. Let's hope, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your parents. So is it your mom is from France and your dad is Swiss?
Yeah, exactly. My mom's from France, from a little country close to Dijon. It's in Burgundy. And my dad lives in Switzerland, in Geneva.
And where did they meet? In Costa Rica or no?
They met, and my mom left France to Switzerland, and that's how they met in Switzerland.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I actually had an opportunity to meet your dad this past year when I was down there. He's really nice guy. Remember to say hello to him for me. I wanted to show the just go to my screen share again. Hang on. So when you drive into Nosara on the dirt road, as you're getting closer to the beach in Nosara, this is the sign that greets you as you right when you turn on sort of into the main drag. And I know, Mael, that you had something to do with this. Can you tell me about how this project started and what your involvement was?
Yeah, so around the world, like, places are starting to have these big letters where you can take pictures once you arrive to the place. And my dad had an idea to do it here. And the concept was inviting free local artists. I did the middle. The top was made by my mentor, Carlos Valenzuela. And the bottom was made by Manuel, who is a tattoo artist here in Osar too.
Oh, the tattoo artist. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And yeah, the idea basically was having the bottom as the past of Nosara, with a lot of legends of Nosara, because obviously Costa Rica was a very indigenous place. So there was indigenous tribes here, and we wanted to reflect the past in this mural. And then the middle would be the transition between the past and the present, being the top. So Austronal, as you can see on the N, and then yoga in the O, the toros that we have every year on the A, and little by little, like that. On the other A, you can see the surf, and on the R, you can see the Pueblo of Nosara, the village.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't zoom in with this, but I think I can see what you're talking about. So, was this painted top to bottom? Like, how did the three of you work together?
So this was a very long process. It took around 3 months to make it, from starting to do the letters until finishing it. And we would just go there every night because here the temperature and the humidity is very high, so you can't really work in the day it's too hot. So we went every night for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and little by little we worked all together, and it came out.
So were you working with like spotlights?
Yeah, we had big spotlights.
Cool. I had another question about so another business that you're involved in is like the Jungle Escape. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there two different? There's Escape Nasara and Jungle Escape, or are those one and the same?
No, it's the same business. It's only three different. We have 3 rooms. We have 2 rooms indoors and 1 room outdoors.
And this is your partner here?
Yeah, Max. He's my cousin.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Can you just explain a little bit about what these escape rooms are all about and how and why you started that?
So yeah, for people that don't know what an escape room is that we lock you in a room, a big room, with inside having a ton of clues. And the concept of the room is that you have an hour to escape the room. That's why it's called an escape room. And you can find puzzles, clues, tons of little gadgets where if you touch a certain place, a door opens, stuff like that. And we had the idea, Max and I, when we went to Europe to see the family. And there in Europe, it's really booming. There's escape rooms a bit everywhere. Yeah, so we had the idea when we went to Europe to see our family, and we saw that in Europe it was booming everywhere you could see escape rooms. So we had the idea of trying it out here in Osaka, and it was really fun to make.
So is this just a stock shot or does this exist?
No, this is a stock shot.
Okay, because I'm thinking I want to go there.
No,
So-
that'd be great.
I want to go there and like just photograph it. It looks amazing. But so you said there's 3 different escape rooms now. Are they all contained in buildings, or is there something that's actually in the jungle?
No, so there's 2 indoor rooms, and there's 1 outdoor room called Jungle Escape, and it's a concept that because we never heard about an escape room in the jungle.
How do you contain that? Like, are there walls?
No, there's no walls. It's mostly little fences and little stuff like that make you stay in a certain place.
But no one can just get lost out there. There's a way to get out and figure out where you are. I'm trying to imagine how it works.
So basically, it's like this little camp, like a camp where you have a bonfire, where you have some tents, and you have to go there, try to find a certain type of book, a certain type of object, and you have to try to get it before 1 hour. So there's a whole backstory to it, obviously. So there's no reason for you to just walk out of it.
Okay. Maybe I'll try that next time I come down.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's a question that I like to ask every one of my guests. So, did you find art, or did art find you? I can explain it further, but I like to just see how you react to that. Did you find art, or did art find you?
That's a hard one though.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
It's like asking, did the egg come before the chicken, or the chicken before the egg?
Yeah, I just wonder if like it came knocking at your door, or you're like, I mean, you explain how it actually started with when you were 4 and you took over your mom's painting course for the day. So I almost feel like it found you, but
yeah, I would say art found me.
okay. And then you're also involved in an art auction right now with Noka, the The Nosara Food Bank. Didn't you donate a piece of work to that? I feel like we
Yeah,
both.
I donated a piece to this art community thing that you created, I think, no?
No.
No?
uh, my friend Michelle did, but I think I may have given him your name, so it probably came through me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, the organization is called NOCA, and right now they're doing an art auction for the food bank in Nosara. I don't have that link with me, but maybe I can put it. I can put that in the notes next to the archive of this show. So I'll do that. I also wanted to bring up one more time with the screen share. I just want to make sure everyone. So this is Miles' information. If anyone's curious to see more of his work, his Instagram. Just correct. Let me know if there's any corrections that are needed here. But right. I think I just copied and pasted it, so it should be right. But the Facebook's a lot of fun because it's his story over the last. I don't know. It doesn't go back to you when you were 4, but at least since you were 12.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Kind of cool watching you grow up. Is there anything else that you wanted to promote?
No, I think we went around everything.
Okay, you're very modest. All right, Mile, thanks very much. It was great catching up, and I hope to see you when the borders open back up. I'll hopefully get down there around the holidays.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, thanks for your time, and take care of yourself. Say hi to your dad.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. A reminder that our show now airs on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A huge thank you to my partners at NCTV Channel 18. Without their behind-the-scenes effort, this show would not be possible. I'd also like to thank my art advisor, Jane Nixon, for making me look much smarter than I actually am. I will see you guys next week, and in the meantime, please support your local artists. Take care.